Hey, welcome all to the third video in my Conflict in a Nutshell series. Once again, I'm your host, Gabe Coder, and today we're going to be looking at the Thomas Kilmann 5 conflict styles. Let's dive right in. So in my program, Mediation Alternative Dispute Resolution, we are taught the Thomas Kilmann 5 conflict styles, and they are as follows: accommodation, avoidance, collaboration, competition, and compromising. Now, each of these styles have a time and a place to use them, and will be important in your jobs and your personal life too. However, most people find that they already frequently use one of these styles in conflict. Usually people stick to one style they prefer and tend to rarely use others. I think that in order to be truly successful in conflict resolution, you need to know about and when to use all 5. Alright, so now I'm going to get into each style and tackle them one by one, giving an in-depth description of each. So first off is accommodation. Alright, so accommodation is useful when you value the relationship of the individual who is in conflict with you. You want to help them and you're willing to give them what they will want if it means keeping your relationship well intact and them happy. I can foresee this style being most useful when you're talking down someone in crisis, and attempt to make them feel safer by telling them things they want to hear and promising them things to help calm them down. Accommodation is a lose-win with you losing. Next up, avoidance. Avoidance is where, in order to prevent or de-escalate conflict, you actively avoid it. And this could mean leaving the scene of the conflict or ignoring someone who is provoking you. An example could be when one is being provoked by a person who intentionally wants you to fight back. Avoiding the conflict here is the best option because giving in only makes them happy. Avoidance isn't necessarily a win or lose scenario for anyone, but by avoiding, you may prevent yourself from losing something and vice versa. Next up, collaboration. Collaboration is when two parties choose to work together in a conflict for mutual gain. Collaboration is likely the style you will use in group projects both in school and on the job. It's very important for times where you need help solving a problem and you can't do it on your own. Collaboration is one of the best conflict styles because it allows for a true win-win. However, the biggest issue with collaboration is honestly just the time it takes to set it up. Agreeing upon collaborating in the first place doesn't always happen in times of conflict, and agreeing upon roles and other various things takes time. If you don't have the time, you may just want to choose competition instead. And speaking of, competition is when one party seeks to gain everything for themselves, a win-lose. Competition is useful in scenarios where you need to achieve something and it doesn't matter what it takes. For instance, if there's a fire and people are arguing over what action to take. Competition is useful in that you could say, there's no time to argue, we need to get out of here right now. Competition is a win-lose, with the one competing winning. You may also use competition in times where you're trying to get a promotion or proving yourself in a physical strength test. Lastly, compromising. Compromising is when each party gives and takes in order to create a win-win. Compromising is useful when you want to make sure both parties get at least something out of the situation and are at least somewhat satisfied. Now, the problem with compromising is that both parties win a little and lose a little, which isn't necessarily the best option for either party. The best example I was ever given was by one of my professors, and it's the orange example. Two siblings are fighting over an orange. They both want it, and neither are willing to budge. So their mother takes the orange, splits it in half, giving each child half the orange. Now the problem is, now neither child is satisfied. You see, the mother didn't stop to ask why each child wanted the orange. She assumed their interests. In reality, the first child wanted the orange only for its peels, so they could use it for baking, whereas the second child wanted the orange in whole because they were very hungry. So you see, compromising doesn't always give both parties what they really want. But that's all for today. Thank you so very much for watching. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next one, and have a wonderful day or night whenever you may be watching.